Daylight, my MVVs, welcome.
Have you ever asked why the Oloris wake up screaming ever since Queen Naomi stepped back into the life of the Ooni of Ife? It's because they were not supposed to be here. They said Iyanifa won the Oloris again as the ancestors rise in defense of Olori Naomi. Out of jealousy and everything, they said she told them that whatever they want to do, because right now they feel so humiliated, they feel so saddened by some of the decisions that the monarch is making. They are jealous, and you know that this thing with jealousy with them can really drive them crazy. Okay, Delarito, this is not a small thing. It's not another palace story. This is, story that bends time, shakes the ancestral realm, and reveals the truth behind the strange occurrences inside the palace of the Ooni of Ife since the return of Olori Naomi. Now, we are all aware that Naomi has not returned into the palace, but she has returned into the life of Ooni of Ife, okay? She has not come back to the palace. She has returned into the life of the Ooni of Ife. Yes, Queen Naomi, the woman Ooni of Ife never stopped loving. The woman the ancestors never stopped watching over. The woman whose sudden exit from the palace, shook not just the kingdom, but the spiritual, wall tied to the throne itself. And now her return has awakened forces that were sleeping until now. The Iyanifa reveal now that ever since Queen Naomi quietly stepped back into the life of Ooni of Ife, things in the palace have not been the same. The other Oloris, those who fought for power in Queen Naomi's absence have been so tormented, and Ooni of Ife already knows what is going on, that the women, they have been complaining over and over again. Now, this was not something Ooni of Ife brought before Iyanifa. The reason happens to be that Iyanifa knows exactly what is going on. Now, Iyanifa is going to be in Nigeria for the next couple of months because she has been working. But I think that Ooni of Ife wants Iyanifa to stay until Queen Naomi is reinstated, okay? They said she will go and come back. And because the full moon exercise, she's the one who is doing it. There was an emergency in Puerto Rico also. They said they flew her there. And, after some days they brought her. They said since she came, she has gone twice. And that's how they will be managing until Queen Naomi is reinstated. They said it began softly, whisper in the hallways, mirror cracking for no reason, palms placed on sacred relics burning with unexplainable heat, birds falling from the sky near the Oloris quarters. Then came the midnight, as in the nightmares. Each one, was very terrifying, and mostly for those who have been so much against Olori Naomi. Yes, they say Ikpi reportedly woke up in the middle of the night screaming, saying she saw Queen Naomi sitting on the ancestral throne, crowned not by hands, but by the spirit of Ile-Ife, okay? Long gone, like she saw Queen Naomi seated with the Ooni of Ife. Ooni of Ife was seated, Queen Naomi was seated the other way, crowned with, the ancestral crown. They say she cried as she saw it. Iyanifa said that they were not supposed to be in the palace, okay? Iyanifa told them that they took what was never theirs, okay? Iyanifa also told them that this was not just a dream, it was a revelation. Another of them, this time they said it was gospel. According to what we are hearing, confess in panic during a visit to a private, Ifa priest right there in the palace, that a dismembered voice, okay, spoke to her every night. The same voice, the same message: return what you stole, apologize for what you did to Naomi. That those things continue to happen to them over and over again. Different things have been happening to them. You know why? For those whose hands are not clear, for those who have ever plotted anything against Olori Naomi. Now listen, years ago, Queen Naomi, of course, we know, stepped into the palace as a young, radiant woman of God. She carried not just beauty and grace, but divine purpose. Her union with the Ooni of Ife was not just a royal marriage, it was a spiritual covenant. But her presence stirred envy. Some women, feeling threatened, plotted behind closed doors to undo her. They whispered about her, twisted her word. Some even went as far as consulting spiritually to try and sever the bond between her and the king. Their aim to, rise, to shine, to sit on the throne, they never end by destiny. It worked temporarily. Queen Naomi left the palace bred, in a new era of multiple queens, each claiming her share of the Ooni's affection. But what they didn't realize is that you cannot occupy a seat that is not yours. But you can never, no matter what happens, you can never, ever occupy a seat that is not yours. Okay? Naomi didn't just inherit the throne. It is her destiny. Naomi was destined to be on that throne. Now, the reason why all of this, they are beginning to come back with all of this, is because the Oloris, no matter what you do, they don't hear. They don't hear. We know about the Iyanifa now. Iyanifa is a very strong, respected spiritual mother in the land. Okay? When she says a thing, it stands. Remember when they carried the Ara crown, where people were all over the place saying, why is Ooni going up and down? Iyanifa told Ooni to mind his business. Ara crown will punish the offenders and find itself back. Has it not happened? It has come to pass. The ancestors are watching, Iyanifa said. They are angry, justice must be served. A woman was wrong, you mocked her tears, and now her tears have summoned judgment. And that is that issue they are having every night, people coming to visit them and all of that. Now, you remember the Gulfstream G700? The Ooni, of course, we are all aware that Ooni bought a private jet, and that private jet is only flown by Olori Naomi. The Kingston mansion and all of that, the kind of envy that is going on in the palace right now and again, it is not a small thing. And, because of the level of envy, that is why Iyanifa is coming back again to reiterate what she had said earlier. That, look, this thing that you people are doing, let it not push you to go to where you want to go to, because this time, nakpai go happen. That this time, there will be nothing like, okay, come and confess and all of that. That everything that was working against the throne, that was making the throne not to find justice and everything, that they are all alive and working right now. That it's not business as usual where you will get up and do whatever you want to do in the throne and get away with it. That what she has done for the throne going forward, that whatever you sow is what you reap. If you go and you say all you want to do is to wage war against Olori Naomi, know that you're waging that war against yourself. Naomi is the daughter of Zion. Naomi was destined to be on the throne, and that is why you have never been able to defeat her. And you will never, ever be able to defeat Olori Naomi. So leave Naomi the hell alone. This was what they say Iyanifa was saying, that, Naomi should be left alone, okay? Iyanifa has told them now that what they don't understand is that when the ancestor choose, no amount of plotting, seduction, or manipulation can override the decision. The Ife throne is not just a royal seat, it is a spiritual altar, and Naomi's spirit was chosen to sit upon it long before these women could even imagine being queens. The Ooni himself has not addressed this spiritual disturbance so directly, but action, they say, speaks louder than word. He has been seen, more often, smiling in Naomi's presence, holding her hands with a gentleness, the palace hasn't seen in years. His staff now consult her on major decisions, and even the royal guard, treat her return like that of a long-awaited queen, not just a guest. Now, as for Iyanifa, she has won, once again. There will be no rest in the palace until peace is restored. Queen Naomi must be honored. Those who mocked her must kneel. The ancestors have spoken, and so shall it be. They say it's not a small thing that is going on in the palace right now. All of those things we were hearing about a month ago, the exposition and all of that, they have started again. They are exposing everything because of this private jet jealousy, so that these women will not go and put their hands where it will harm them and harm the name of the Oba. I'm going to bring you more update. Do not forget that these are all alleged rumors, unverified information making the rounds on social media and should not be seen as fact.